All right, here we go. We're live. We are live. How's everyone doing? Hope you're all doing well today. Let's get a quick audio visual check, make sure everything's all right. Got a little bit of red light today. Actually, to be fair, it should be green. So I'll fix that right now. Let's get some green lights going on. I love color changing light. I'm a little kid. Oh, but I don't think they have green on these. No, there's no green. This is so stupid. I was really shocked by this. Yeah, Sammy's waiting for the likes to hit 50. That would be cruel, but I should start doing that. Let's go for pink. I'm feeling pink today. It's a very masculine color if you have the courage to back it, and that's what I like about pink. Here we go. You guys are all so excited. Hell yeah, let's get in. So thank you all for tuning in. Smash up the likes as we're coming in. Thank you all. Bitcoin is up to $61,600. Not too bad. Not too bad. So thank you. Nice jacket. Thank you very much. I love the peacock designs. So, you know, the thing is, we were talking in the previous video, I think most of you have probably watched that video about how Bitcoin was, you know, hopefully, this is 2 videos back now, that Bitcoin is hopefully going to be consolidating and then maybe take another leg up. And in the previous video, we were trading around over here where I said that we did break up. So, you know, since that previous video, we formed yet another small bull flag. So there's already something that we can read into this that, as the title suggests, everyone is missing about this pump, which is something that indicates to us how much further we might go. Because obviously that's one of the key things that we want to ask ourselves and answer with this current price action. How much further is this trend going to go? And I'm specifically talking about really, you know, in the short term, how much further can we go? I don't really care about what's going to happen in the, you know, it's 1 month down the line or whatever. But I'm really looking for, you know, as you guys know with my channel analysis style, I keep it super simple. You know, I've only got these green, blue boxes. I'm going to have some horizontal lines and that's it. But one of the other things I do is I analyze candle patterns. And that's where I say things like bull flag. So if you don't know what a bull flag is, this is where you pause the live stream and Google this and do 5 minutes of research. But very, very simple. It's where you trade upwards and then you start trading, you know, in a pattern that looks a little bit like this. This would be the bull flag, and then you continue trading higher. And the thing is, now we've done this a few times. It's probably best if I start it from here. I can show you that. I mean, pretty much. I mean, the one that I want to focus on is right here. Bitcoin ended up kind of trading higher. This is a messy one, to be honest, but it ended up trading higher and then kind of just started trading sideways. This was the bull flag. And then we made another leg up. Now, the thing that's important about this is that directly afterwards, we formed another bull flag right here. And this one was quite small. So this is where things get really juicy and exciting. Sick view, have I moved the office? Yes, I have. So it was quite recent, about a week ago, we had an office with the view of the Burj Khalifa. And now, ladies and gents, we're in the Burj Khalifa. So definitely upgrading, making moves as we go along. I like the pink lights. I'm gonna keep it like this for a minute. But yes, we have now upgraded, obviously, and we're just gonna keep on moving higher and higher and higher. We've just added someone to the team on a provisionary basis. Not sure if we're gonna fully commit, but it's looking really good. We hired somebody new last month, so I mean, we're averaging bringing on a new staff member like every 2-3 months now, which is insane. Anyway, not important for now. What I want to zoom in and talk about is this bull flag right here, because we ended up making a move and then forming another bull flag on a smaller time frame. And like I said, like I was saying, this is where things start to get really exciting, in my opinion, because what we've seen here is you know, quite a drawn out kind of correction, and then, you know, 19 days to set a new all-time high. And this is, you know, compared to 31 days to set a new all-time high over here. We have certainly been moving slowly with this trend so far. However, we've now switched. I mean, there's only 2 pieces of data for this, but I think it's enough to start drawing conclusions, because we can back it up with what can we back it up with? A knowledge of our, oh, the words are escaping me. We only have 2 pieces of data, but the argument, in my opinion, here is quite strong, because we also have other knowledge that backs up this theory I'm about to explain, which is that we've come out of, you know, relatively long-term continuations and things like that. However, you know, we've now started to form smaller continuation patterns, and I'll get to why this is so important in a minute. But you know, right here, I mean, this continuation pattern lasted something like, you know, from start to finish, let's say 2.5 days. You know, this most recent one now has lasted only about 7 hours, 6 hours, you know, maybe 9 hours, depending on how you draw it, but it's certainly getting smaller. And, you know, I think there's a very good reason. This is where I'm backing it up with knowledge now. We can first of all see the consolidation is getting smaller. The other, you know, the other thing that's really important in my opinion is that it makes sense that they're getting smaller. It makes sense for two reasons. Number one, it makes sense because we just had quite long-term consolidations and continuations. And number two, it's because we've now broken up into an all-time high. And so we're in a blue sky breakout situation, which is very clear by this blue sky breakout. I mean, we're just flying up like a rocket. And that I think definitely is you know, driving a lot of sentiment behind Bitcoin. And you know, it's the same thing as I was talking about in the previous videos and live streams. So shout out to those of you who have been tuning in. Thank you to all of you for watching this video today. If you are enjoying it so far, please do smash the likes. But what you would have heard quite clearly in the previous videos was that you know, these little sell-offs, in my opinion, they were just, you know, a little bit of price suppression. People who weren't fully convinced by the trend, people who, you know, wanted to take some profits on the trend, they were just starting to offload a little bit of their positions. But as soon as we crossed 60k, I said this super clearly. In fact, more specifically, as soon as we crossed the all-time high, which was pretty much where this blue line is, as soon as we crossed the all-time high, I was saying that we would end up flying upwards, in my opinion, because we were actually in a situation where sellers would no longer be motivated to sell because we're just all excited by the price of Bitcoin going up. So when people are not motivated to sell and people are only, you know, the only remaining people are motivated to buy, that's where we start to get some really explosive upward price action. But we bring it back to these smaller continuation patterns. It makes a lot of sense because a lot of people do not want to sell, we are, I think, on a technical, I mean, that's a psychological thing. You know, people don't want to sell because they think it's going to go up. That's the psychological element. The technical, how do I say, equivalent to that is the fact that our consolidation periods are getting smaller. And that means, you know, we spent like 7 hours over here. We might spend, you know, another 7 hours here. The point is, where this gets really exciting is it might mean that the next leg can come pretty quickly. And that's where I'm getting very excited with this, in my opinion. Can I comment on the low volume? Not right now, because it's not important in my opinion. Although I am commenting on it by saying that there's no sellers. You know, it means that there's not much volume driving the market up. In any case, though, the thing is that does mean, because we don't really have any resistance here, I think that any consolidation we get, any pullbacks we get will be quite short term, especially considering that we just came out of a big continuation pattern. So, you know, that typically triggers high levels of volatility. You guys know how that works. I've talked about this a lot on the channel, where when we have periods of low volatility, it's usually followed by periods of high volatility. And it looks like right now we've just entered a period of high volatility, which is what is making this market so exciting right now. And you can really see it quite clearly. I mean, this 4-hour candle right here from low to high has risen by $3,000, which is, I don't know, like 5%. Which is pretty good, and now we're seeing a similar kind of rise over the past 8 hours as well. So it's definitely looking healthy. It's looking very good, in my opinion. And like I said, with the lack of resistance up ahead, with the fact that we're now forming short continuation patterns, we usually do this in bursts, you know, so there's usually a burst of short continuation patterns, you know, that kind of lead the market higher, which might look a little bit like this in terms of time frames, just a burst of short continuation patterns where, you know, within the period of a day or two, we end up making a lot of the move higher. And I can prove this to you really easily how this was happening in the past. You know, I mean, a lot of you guys who haven't really watched this channel before, you might not get that very well, but you know, it's very easy to prove that, you know, a lot of the big moves in the price, they happen in quite short periods of time. You know, we leave areas of relatively low volatility, and then we enter areas of higher volatility, and then sometimes very high volatility, right? So we can see right here that within the period of, I mean, I can just get my ruler tool out, bam, right here, it takes us 16 hours to climb up by 21%, you know, from a low of 39,000 to a high of 47,000, you know, and that's the kind of thing that I'm expecting could happen right now. It's the same blue sky breakout theory that I've outlined quite a few times, where I think that Bitcoin, you know, isn't necessarily going to mess about and trade slowly right here, in my opinion. You know, I think Bitcoin has some really good potential to rise up very nicely over the next week, purely because it has actually, you know, kind of gotten this blue sky breakout, and we are getting shorter term continuation patterns. And that's for a good reason that we know with our own knowledge, because nobody wants to sell when we just broke an all-time high, because everyone's bullish. And if everyone's bullish, that means there's no sellers in the market. And so, you know, the only thing that happens is the price gets driven up. this is the same thing I've been saying for a long time. Those of you who've been watching this channel consistently, you will notice I'm starting to become a bit of a broken record, and that's entirely on purpose because the facts here do not change. And you know, a lot of the time people will not have a particularly amazing record in trading, not a particularly amazing track record or history with trading, so they will think that they need to change things and adjust things, which is a good way to think. However, in some ways it can shoot you in the foot. You know, it really is a lot of the time the most simple ways to do your analysis tend to be the best. You know, it's little things, like I said. You know, the initial rally up to the 58k all-time high, we did it very quickly. We didn't really consolidate very much. The next one, we did consolidate. This is why I thought we'd end up breaking higher. If you were over-analyzing this and you were trying to trade in this range, which thank God I wasn't, you know, you would have started to, you know, I mean, that analysis, I would do it once. You know, I mean, I would only have to wait 1 or 2 or 3 days. But people who are a little bit too aggressive or you know, they trade a little bit too often, they would start losing their vision of this sober, simple analysis because they're struggling to trade. But you know, it really is these simple things that can ground you as a trader and an analyst, and that's exactly what I did. And you know, to put this into perspective, ladies and gents, I actually had an idea for a position that I outlined a really long time ago. I outlined it on these videos. I outlined it inside of the VIP group, where I said that I would be taking a long position above the $58,000 level if we ended up breaking up above it. Obviously, I didn't talk about it much recently publicly because I shared the details of it inside of VIP. Here's the post that I put in VIP outlining that Bitcoin is closing in on its all-time high. And as I mentioned before, I'm interested in setting a momentum long order above the 58k level. Then I detailed 3 bullet point reasons for why I should enter this position and 2 reasons for why I shouldn't. And the bottom of this message details exactly the key levels I'd be entering at. 58,845. My stop loss would be here for minus 18%. My first target would be here for plus 14%. And currently, as I speak, the position is, I don't know, maybe in 25% profit. I'm not really sure, which is still absolutely great because, I mean, the market is only up by 7%. Ethereum is only up by 9%. You know, I mean, I'm beating out every single major coin in the market today just with one very simple trade that I planned out 2 days ago. You know, so I do set my trades and trading strategies quite far in advance as much as I can. I would prefer to have them planned out days in advance, at the very least hours in advance, many hours, you know, like 12 hours at least, because I need to give myself that buffer time to make sure that I'm not day trading basically. But here's the post that went into VIP. It's obviously worked out amazingly. So these are the follow-ups that, like I said, you know, within VIP, I will tell you exactly what I'm trading, where I'm trading it, all the details. So I mean, that is all right here. And by the way, if you don't understand this or you wouldn't know how I did this in the exchange, I have tutorials inside of the VIP group that will clear this up for you. So when you join the group and you gain access to all of this, if you don't really understand what's going on, you can go through the VIP library, which we will also give you with a bunch of tutorial videos outlining how this stuff works. And crucially, there are also other opportunities for you to you know, learn how to trade right from the beginning when you're inside VIP, because we can bundle your membership with one of our trading courses. We can just do it for free. So just ask us about that if you're curious. But right here, I mean, you know, continuing to give you the real-time updates on my Bitcoin position. I haven't taken more profits after this, where I closed 5%. So I'm still happy with a 20% profit. And crucially, my stop loss is now at break even. So things are going very, very well for this position. I'm super, super happy with it. So if you do want to join the group, find out what's going on, find out how to join, then the steps are on screen to do exactly that. I see your comments about Bitcoin dropping. I'll get to that in just a minute. Obviously, as you can tell, I'm not worried about it because we've dropped by like 0.3% in the time that I was talking about this. But oh, the comments are really funny. We need to stop being so how do I say, excited by this. This is not healthy. And VIP members are showing you how to do that. So we've had some really, really cool testimonials. One of the ones that I wanted to highlight to you guys in this video right here was this testimonial that we got 2 months ago, about 1.5 months ago, which was this guy mentioned that he is selling 95% of his Bitcoins at $38,000. So it's obviously quite low compared to where we are now, but he did it all the way down here, around here somewhere. He's saying he did it so that he can buy a house. FORFLIES VIP is king. So this person started out with a very low amount of money. He joined VIP a long time ago when we used to offer lifetime plans. Now we just offer yearly plans because To be honest, lifetime was a really stupid business idea. These people would have renewed. As you can see, this guy's buying a house. He obviously would have renewed. And so now we only do yearly plans. But he was one of the lucky guys that joined early on. And since that time, he has done very, very well, gotten enough money to build a house. But crucially, he said that with his remaining 0.25 BTC, he's left it to trade and start the accumulation process again. And what he said to me a few days ago, 3 days ago, was this. Just keeping you posted, I've turned my 0.25 BTC I left in trading into 0.8 BTC over the last couple of months. So bearing in mind, this person sent this message January 24. Today, in my time zone, is March 14. So this person, inside of 2 months, has more than doubled his balance again after buying a house. Absolute bloody warrior. I love this. This is so cool. And I mentioned in the first video where I talked about this testimonial how powerful it is, that this person has taken his gains out, he's bought a house with it, so he's guaranteed financial freedom in the form of having a very useful asset that he can mortgage, that he can live in, his kids can live in, something super amazing and powerful. But he's left a little bit of money still in the game, and he's more than doubled it inside of 2 months. So a very impressive testimonial down at the bottom saying, "You're the man and you always will be, Sammy." Thank you very much. I love this guy. He is the exemplary VIP student, somebody who is outright saying continuously that he's making money. He does have that devil whispering in his ear that he could have put 50k instead of 5k into the markets, but he has learned risk management and he's going to be trading for the rest of his life. It's not something that's particularly time consuming, doing amazingly. So I'm not going to go on about this for too much longer, but if you do want to join the group and see how these people just recently, since you were watching the channel, have been able to pull, again, life-changing sums of money, then the steps to join the group are on screen right here. It's super impressive. So I want to take a couple of your questions now. I see that a lot of you are still panicking about this price action, which is definitely funny, but I'm not going to talk about the dump yet. I mean, it's really not much of a dump anyway. Henry, you'd like to spend some time with me? Thank you. Yeah, sure. Definitely. I don't mind. If you do have any questions, please drop them in the comments. In a moment, I will switch over to Ethereum analysis. I will look at some of the altcoins as well. I'll tell you what I think about that. Then I think we'll start talking about where I think Bitcoin might go from here. I'll talk about specific numbers, although you guys know what my predictions are, and I haven't really changed them much. I don't understand why Ethereum exactly follows the Bitcoin chart. The reason that Ethereum, I'm just leaving this on screen for those of you who are reaching out, but the reason that Ethereum follows Bitcoin so well is because it's just in the cryptocurrency space, Ethereum and Bitcoin are very different, but to an outsider who only invests in the stock market and bonds and stuff like that, they're both just cryptocurrencies, so they're one and the same. It's like if all of your life you were just working in carpentry, you would... That's a bad example. If all of your life you were working as a fisherman, you would consider Facebook and Google and Netflix to be the same. Even though they're wildly different, if you know about them, to an outsider, they're very similar. And the thing is, ladies and gents, these markets are being largely driven by outsiders who don't fully understand the tech. They don't need to. This is all based on speculation. So if the big asset, the king of the space, which is Bitcoin, moves, the other assets tend to follow through. And the thing that makes this very impressive, in my opinion, is the fact that Ethereum will end up rising harder than Bitcoin, which is obviously very useful as a trader, because you can predict the move on Bitcoin, but trade it on Ethereum and make a little bit more money, which is absolutely great. Obviously not something that I particularly care about too much, because I'm leveraging my trades up, and as usual, VIPs know how I'm doing that. That's how I was able to pull this 20% profit. So there's a lot of different ways to make these kind of gains, but that's why Ethereum tends to follow, and this is why I'm also not bothered about it, because that's why Ethereum tends to follow even better than Bitcoin, but that's why I'm not bothered about it, because I outperform them anyway just by applying leverage. So once again, if you want to know where I'm trading them, I am doing it right here on Phemex, which is linked in the description. One of the best places to trade, in my opinion, but obviously you can find your own if you don't want to use Phemex. But this is a great place and it's worth having a backup if you've already got your own exchanges. I say it in every video. The amount of times people have told me they have issues with their exchange, and I'm thinking, why don't you have a backup? Like, this is serious money. You don't have a backup. This is irresponsible trading. And it's not to say you have to use mine, but obviously when you do use mine, you'll get some free money to trade with as well. So it helps you, helps me as well. Linked in the description. Also, no KYC. I love that about it. I'm proud to announce that I haven't drunk any sparkling water for a long time, which is absolutely great. Do I think bcash has reached its peak? I certainly hope so. Bcash is up by 4%. Why would it reach its peak here? No, not necessarily. I mean, it can rise higher, but it's at a literal all-time low against Bitcoin, isn't it? I mean, a literal all-time low. Yeah. Minus this wick, which doesn't really count, it's at an all-time low, which I love. I want to talk for a minute about this dump because I know that a lot of people are losing their shit about it. I want to put this dump into perspective. Let's get some comments going on here. Can you see the dump on this chart? Yes or no? I can guarantee you that every single mobile viewer cannot see the dump that we've just had on the chart. Why? Because it's super small. And for that reason, I'm really not worried about it. Switch it on to the 1 hour time frame. And I mean, it's unrecognizable. It's absolute. I mean, nothing has dumped here. So I saw a comment saying, Bitcoin is crashing, get out while you can. I'm going to guess that was a joke, but it's the crypto community, you know? So, you know, the levels of stupidity, they don't have a cap, you know? Like, there's no limit on this. But look, the point is, you know, jokes aside, Bitcoin is seeing a very standard little pullback. It's absolutely not something that concerns me. The best case scenario for Bitcoin, in my opinion, is we end up coming back down to a level like 58,000, maybe a level like 60,000 kind of bounce up. I don't know if that's going to happen. Doesn't really matter to me if it does or not. But, you know, if we do end up kind of trading sideways, I think that would absolutely, you know, be beautiful for another rise upwards. And that would be really, really helpful to take the market higher. Someone's asking for a good broker in the USA. I don't really have any specific suggestions. I know that a lot of people in the USA do use Phemex. They do use a VPN. It is required if you're connecting from the United States. No one I know has ever had an issue, but obviously it's up to you if you want to take that risk. I'm not a US citizen, so it doesn't really matter to me. Yeah, Phil is saying you can only just see this dump, but you're using a 55-inch TV, you know? So this is the thing. People get really scared about very small price movements, but this is an example of over-analyzing, you know, what's going on in the crypto space and then making stupid judgments from it, you know, because people were talking about, oh my god, Bitcoin's down to $60,700. It's already recovered up by $500. I mean, don't you feel stupid yet? You know what I mean? Like, it's I don't, you know, like this is super normal. I mean, we're up by, you know, 0.8% in total from the all-time high to where we dropped. It was 1.7%. I mean, this is a fluctuation for Bitcoin. What do you expect? We just broke the all-time high. Of course we're gonna have some pullbacks, but you know, this is super normal in the market. And you know, I think that one of the key things that helps me avoid this kind of over analysis and over trading is simply having a trade set in advance, like I showed inside of the VIP group. And then my only job from here is to take profits along the way. I can't hit this point home hard enough that I don't spend a lot of time trading, and this shocks a lot of people when they meet me. You know, like, I genuinely don't need to sit behind the computer and trade all day. I'm out with friends, I'm meeting people, I'm having a great time. I'm obviously here in Dubai, you know, it's a great place to be at this point of time in the world. Nice lighting, thank you very much, I love it. I've done it for you guys today, but you know, the point is, like, I'm 100% you know, living a very casual life and don't really need to sit behind the laptop and analyze all the time, because I would have a trade idea set. And this is the point that I really want to enforce really hard, you know, like, whether you join VIP or not really the point about, you know, what healthy trading in my opinion looks like. I set this order 2 days ago. I outlined why I was doing it 2 days ago, and from that point I didn't do shit. Like, I really didn't do anything at all, apart from live my life. I don't know, go out for shisha, go for restaurants, whatever, you know, like, I didn't, you know, I didn't have to sit down and do any analysis. This is the point. Like, I had alerts set. I had alerts on my phone set for when Bitcoin rises. I set my order, and that's it. Now my only job is, I will set more alerts. With the brothel lighting, I don't think so. I don't know what brothels you're going to. They're usually red. But I will have everything set. I will have my alerts set as well. And all I need to do is wait until my phone buzzes and then decide if I take profits a little bit more or not. You know, this is the way I trade and analyze. And when you do it, it's a lot less stressful, you know, like you'll kill yourself when you're looking at small price action like this and saying, oh my god, it's a crash, oh my god, what are we going to do, you know, like this stuff doesn't even register to me. And it doesn't for most of you as well, I'm sure. But, you know, you can really avoid a lot of that by setting alerts. And it really detaches you from the outcome of trading, because you know, with healthy trading, you haven't risked too much money. So it doesn't matter if the trade goes badly. And you know, you've got your stop loss set. So your worst case scenario is only, you know, in my case, it was only minus 18%. It's really, the really freaky ones are that color. Oh God, okay, I'm changing it now. Forget this. This is not happening. I'm going to make it purple or blue. Let me go for a blue. You guys are... This is a crypto community. You guys are too weird. You kill the fun and everything. Here we go. I like blue. But yeah, you know, the point was, you know, but just by saying, this is a very, you know, the thing about trading, I gotta blow up the camera now because FORFLIES is about to give you guys some real talk. If you're enjoying this so far, smash up the likes because I'm about to get real with you guys right now. Thank you all for tuning in. Really hope you are enjoying it. If you're new to the channel, then please go ahead and subscribe as well. Let me just get some white light to make this a little bit better to see my face. And you know, the next point I wanted to make on the note of trading. Wow, I just forgot. I literally just forgot my next point. Everything is distracting me right now. What was my next point about trading? That's annoying. Yeah, I forgot. I fully forgotten. That's that kind of kills the flow. I'm sorry, bad memory. Well, to be fair, it's 1:30 a.m. so I'm allowed to have a bad memory now. It's quite late in the day, but oh, there we go. I will. Good trader takes profits on the way up. 100%. You know, I mean, this is the thing that I was saying about the trading stuff is, you know, my main model here is I was talking about noobs. Yeah, but I don't remember what about the noobs I was saying. ADHD. I don't know if I have ADHD. Some people think I do. Setting alerts. I was getting real, but what was it? I completely alerts and profits. Anyway, it'll come back to me because it was really important. I'm so sorry, I feel like I killed the flow completely. This is why I shouldn't live stream so late in the day. But, yeah, I think I'm just gonna have to switch back to the questions until I remember it. It was a really good point, but I've said it before, so if you watch these live streams, you've heard it before. If you watch all of them, that is. I don't say it often. Small movements? Because of the small movements? Yeah, I don't know. We're gonna have to wait. Am I in the Dubai Marina? No, this is downtown Dubai. This is downtown Dubai, not the marina. In fact, right behind me is the Dubai fountain. You can't really see it right now, but I mean, this office is in the Burj Khalifa, so this is the center of Dubai. You know, like the heart of Dubai, which is really cool. Anyway, guys, I would like to start going through your questions. While I'm waiting for them, I will also I was going to show you some. I don't know. I'm sorry, I completely forgot. I'm also going to talk about where I think Bitcoin can go. So, you know, the key thing for me is I think that Bitcoin can form some small consolidation patterns and keep rising up. I'm not really worried about anything in terms of, you know, Bitcoin, you know, dropping down and crashing or correcting. I think the time for that is gone. I think we've done enough of that. So I think that there's quite a small chance of Bitcoin actually trending down from here. You know, I think that we are in uptrend mode now. I mean, for the, you know, worst case scenario, I think we might just kind of fall down to like 60k and then rise up very nicely from there. That's the worst case I'm seeing right here, because, you know, a lot of these indicators right now are showing us that we are quite bullish. You know, if I switch on to the 1 hour, for example, someone asked me to look at the Ichimoku cloud, it's rising up really quickly. You know, so if we end up falling a little bit just into the early hours of tomorrow, within the next 24 hours, we're going to have a lot of support from the 1 hour Ichimoku cloud. We look at something like the moving averages, and it's even more short term. I mean, you know, we'll start seeing this just within the next couple of hours, which is really impressive in terms of showing us where support in the market might be. So I'm not worried about pullbacks right now. I don't think they're likely. I think this is the time that Bitcoin is really going to be rising up very nicely until we start to hit some of those big round numbers again. So one of the key levels that I outlined to you in the previous video was $69,000 to $70,000. I just think it would be super poetic if Bitcoin managed to get rejected at $69,420. As I said in the previous video, we know how immature the crypto space is, and how that usually tends to make people you know, do stupid and funny things, and so it's almost like a meme level that I definitely think that you know, Bitcoin can end up you know, topping out there instead of at 70K. But this is the next kind of round number I'm seeing. Although crucially, you know, we kind of go to the thumbnail. The thing is, you know, when we've just had, and this is now my very aggressive hypothesis, you know, which I don't really give you guys often, but I certainly think I don't go fishing. No, I've been recommended to, but I don't see how I would enjoy it. But you know, this is something that I don't typically do often, but you know, when I do it, you know, it's real, which is that I mean, Bitcoin has just come out of two pretty serious corrections, in my opinion. It's taken its time to come out of them, 31 days, 19 days. I mean, it's not been short-term price action here. And, you know, I wouldn't be completely surprised if Bitcoin was to, you know, just kind of blast through these levels like 70K, go straight up to very insane levels like 80K, run up towards $100,000. You know, I mean, we haven't seen that kind of really explosive non-stop rally like this for a while. You know, I'm not so sure if this counts. I don't really know, but I certainly think that we're due for something a little bit more like this again. And you know, I mean, the price movements, they get more extreme as we keep on going up in this market. You know, because I mean, in terms of dollars, not in terms of percentages, and so although potentially in terms of percentages too, but certainly with dollars. You know, so you know, it can be very easy for the price to just kind of lend itself to higher levels towards $100,000, and that's where you know, I start getting very excited about the trend. And once again, I've got to reaffirm that I don't give analysis like this often, you know, because I genuinely don't think that it's sensible. You know, it's too far away to make predictions like that. However, right here, I think there absolutely is an argument to make that you know, Bitcoin can just keep flying through these levels because we've had so much consolidation. This is actually a similar hypothesis to what Tone Vays has with the market. He's not necessarily saying $100,000, although he thinks we'll get there eventually, but what he is saying is that we can hit levels like 70 or 80K for the same reason, you know, because we spent a lot of time consolidating, which essentially gives us the juice to rise up really nicely in the upward direction. And that's where things, in my opinion, do get very exciting. I am going to go through your questions in just a minute, so please continue to drop them, and make sure you write my name in your message, in your comment, so that I don't miss it. That's a very important part of making sure that I don't miss your message. It's essentially going to guarantee that I answer your question, because I do answer almost everybody's questions inside of these live streams if you do tag me. Ethereum unfortunately hasn't broken its all-time high yet, although it's outperforming Bitcoin. So I certainly think that you know, Bitcoin, you know, Ethereum can break its all-time high relatively soon because it's outperforming Bitcoin. So it's just probably going to rise faster. And as soon as Bitcoin does, as soon as Ethereum does rise above its all-time high, if it does, I certainly think that it has a lot of potential to absolutely shoot up higher, you know, to levels like $2,500, $3,000. I'm not really worried about this. And the thing is, you know, now that my Bitcoin position is at break even with the stop loss, I'm willing to take on additional risk by trading Ethereum, for example. So I haven't fully committed to what I'm going to be doing within this market yet, but I might end up trading Ethereum in a similar way to how I traded Bitcoin. And once again, this will be something that I show to VIP members just like with every other trade I make. I will outline a little bit of what I'm doing, reasons I should do it, reasons I shouldn't do it, and then the exact numbers on how I'm trading it. And of course, like I said, there are tutorials inside the group, so you can know how I'm setting those orders on the exchanges I'm using as well. So it's very, very useful information. Afterwards, when the trade is open, I will continue to give you real-time updates on how that position is going as well, which can be super, super useful. So I am considering doing something like that with Ethereum relatively soon. I don't know if I will yet. It does depend on my risk appetite. It depends on how much profit my Bitcoin position makes me and a couple different things like that. So there are different variables I need to look at because Abdullah, yes, I'm living in Dubai, but there are a few different variables that I'll go into, whether or not I enter my Ethereum position, and I think that it's something that I'll have to judge on the time when it comes. So that's why I haven't committed to it yet. Once again, though, beautiful testimonials across the board from VIP members, up 0.15 BTC in 1 day, which was, if I'm not mistaken, much more than what he paid to join VIP. So I can't remember when this message was screenshotted, but I'm pretty sure it was much more than he paid to join. So that is, again, super impressive. Bam, 170%, 90% profit again. So members really killing it inside of the group. And I actually want to highlight to you this message that we gave when we said VIP is 5 away from 1,000. We're now at 1,025. So again, growing really well. Like I said, the team is growing very fast as well. We hired someone last month, hired somebody else this month, not nearly hired. We haven't fully hired him yet, but it's looking good. Things are obviously going very well on our side, and so I am actually opening this offer up again for those of you who are interested in our yearly offer. I mentioned a little, I'm gonna mute you, Abdullah. Like I said I'm in Dubai. This is getting annoying, bro. But I have mentioned that we stopped our lifetime offers I don't know, about half an hour ago. However, yearly gets the same package. So if you are interested in a year inside of VIP, you want lifetime access to our Advanced Academy course, which is priced at $2,700. We're also offering phone calls with me as well if you're down for that. So we can do multiple. Don't necessarily have to do just one. It's up to you, obviously within reason. And crucially, for me, which is the most important part, is the yacht parties in Dubai that we're never going to talk about publicly. So it's going to be super fun, and if you are interested, we're doing it at the biggest discount ever, 75% off on our old prices. So just reach out and ask me about the big yearly discount, and I will give you the information on that here. So if you're interested in that, I've just can I put my webcam small? I prefer it bigger. No, I'm gonna keep it like this. I prefer it bigger. Yeah, so Bitcoin again taking a little bit of a dive down, and people, I think, panicking again as usual. But yeah, I'm not going to look at that. This is not interesting to me. But I'm going to leave this on screen for those of you who do want to reach out, and I'm going to start going through your questions again. So will Ethereum eventually go on its own course, not following Bitcoin so much? There's definitely some potential for that, but I don't think it's likely to happen anytime soon. And crucially, it might not be Ethereum, but it might be something else which is similar, like Cardano, that overtakes Ethereum in terms of its prominence in the market, because it's an asset that works better than Ethereum. That's just an opinion. It's not necessarily like that's true, but I certainly think that there's some potential for another coin that's called decouple from Bitcoin, where Ethereum moves in different ways to Bitcoin, and that will only happen when the market rises to a significantly higher level, to where people understand the nuance of the market. That's, I think, yeah, really important. FORFLIES, is it okay to trade 1 to 5% profits per trade and compounding? Of course. How long to make 5k into 100k? I have no idea. We have people who can pull that off inside the group, inside of VIP in months, and we have other people who've taken like a year to pull that kind of profit. We have other people, most people never pull that kind of gain, because it's a 20 times return. So that's not easy to pull. Just head back to the charts here. Let's see what else we've got. I do see your messages about VIP, and you guys are being responded to as we go along. So Don't worry about it if you haven't gotten a response yet. You were telling us how I trade while enjoying my relaxed life. I mean, you know, the thing is, the way I trade, you know, just to outline this again, is, and now I will blow up my camera. You know, the key way that I trade really in this market is it's super relaxed. You know, I would set a goal for how I want to trade well in advance, and I would then just wait until that alert is hit, until the trade is triggered, and I will then make a decision on how I'm taking profits or amending my position from there. And it's a very relaxed way to do to trade. And what you'll see is that as long as you do your analysis well once, you only need to update it from there. You only need to update it once every day, which means I need to open up the chart once every day. And most of the time, and this is the thing that's crucial that most people don't get. With my most recent trade, I set the orders for it 2 days ago, where I set the order to go long on Bitcoin if it reaches 58,800. And once again, if you don't know how that works, we've got the tutorials on it, so don't worry about that. You know, like, it's super simple. You can set these. I set these orders in, I mean, it takes me like 20 seconds. Like, it's not difficult. And so I would set these orders, and from there, nothing is happening in the market. You know, like, we literally traded sideways. I'll just show you the chart again, you know, to prove this to you right here. I mean, you know, Bitcoin, I set the order, I don't know, like, let's say over here, and it entered when Bitcoin reached here, you know. So all of this time between here and here, there was 2 days, you know, where nothing happened. So what was I doing for those 2 days? Well, certainly wasn't bloody analyzing, was I? Because nothing happened in the market. I mean, again, you know, you look at what happened in the market here. We're just trading sideways. I mean, I can draw a box for you. You know, the absolute low to the absolute high, which was here, we were trading in this range within a 10% range for 3 days. 10% is big, but, you know, when you're looking at exponential rallies, it's not actually that much. And so, you know, it was quite obvious, in my opinion, that we would start trading sideways here. So it's not like we were doing something that was scary to me or unexpected or anything like that. And so there was nothing to do. And, you know, we go back to this point of how I trade. I think it's absolutely essential to cover the fact that I don't actually need to be looking at the charts and trading. I don't know what do you mean by trading, because there's nothing to do when I set my, I mean, that's trading. I would set my order and then it will execute at some point when I'm sleeping. In this case, I happen to be awake, but you know, I mean, it's really not, it's not something that I need to work on actively after I've set the order, and that's why it's not time consuming, you know. And then from there, I would set more orders to take profits. In fact, let me show you this again right here real quick, to show you where I've got my alerts. I've got my alerts on this chart right here. See these dotted lines over here. So I don't have any dotted lines anymore because we've exceeded my profit targets, but I do have a dotted line at my previous stop loss. I have another dotted line close to where my current stop loss is as well. And I mean, each dotted line here represents an alert. So, you know, I would set another one at 62,000, set another one at 64,000. I don't need to see the chart beyond this. You know, the only reason I do is because I'm a YouTuber, but otherwise it's not important to me. This is where, you know, when you trade in this kind of style, you only need to do your analysis once and then potentially, but not necessarily, refresh it every day once, and then you're done. And it's not actually very time consuming. So then it becomes a case of you need to learn the skills once properly, and then you'll know them for life. And then you just need to keep on implementing them with a stable, calm, steady head every single day. And one of the key ways you can achieve that second part is by keeping a trading journal. One of the key ways you can achieve the first part is by joining one of our amazing courses, getting into VIP and watching our content there as well. So, I mean, there's lots of other options. If you don't want to join our stuff, that's not the point. I mean, you don't have to, but I think it's time for me to take this off. But, you know, there's so many ways around it. And the point is, you only need to learn it once and then update it, and your work is done. And that's where, you know, you've got these people, you know, like inside of VIP who are saying that they work a day job. You know, one of our members who turned 30K into $1 million in 10 months. He runs 6 businesses internationally. You know, like, it's not like he's spending all day trading. But these are people who, you know, are running their normal life and doing their analysis a little bit, you know, like once a day, and that's it. Yeah, that's how I entered this trade. So again, I got to reaffirm, my daily life over the past couple of days was is always very relaxed. There's just not much for me to do as a trader. It's one of the beauties of it, and one of the curses, because it means that when you're successful, you get complacent. And that certainly happened to me as well. Not to say I'm successful, I mean, I consider myself to be, but that's not really the point. It does make you complacent when you have to do so little work to achieve such good results. But that's trading. I mean, you know, you get paid for the intensity with which you think. And crucially, I'm showing you how it doesn't have to be very intense, because all I did was go long above a previous all-time high with 5 times leverage. You know, I did a little bit of analysis to support you know, what I was thinking. I only did it once and I updated it, and that was it. You know, I mean, hopefully what I'm doing here is presenting to you an alternative to trading continuously 5 times a day, 5 times a week, or whatever. This is the first trade I've made in like 2 weeks, and it's already, you know, completely outperformed the market by a factor of more than 2 times. You know, so this is another thing that a lot of people don't get, is it's not the more money it's not that, you know, the more you trade, the more money you will make. You know, usually the more you trade, the more likely you are to lose money, because every time you open a trade, you've opened yourself up to risk, and that means you can potentially lose money. So trading directly increases your risk of losing money every time, and that's why I keep my trading as I don't try to keep it to a minimum, but I definitely don't try to splash out, and I definitely don't go out looking for opportunities. You know, it's just if there's something obvious, something easy, I will trade it, and then I won't trade anything until I feel like there's something equally easy or safe to trade again, because I don't need to. I've already made some good profits. I don't want to risk losing those profits again. A lot of people will fall into the trap of thinking that they need to trade more to make more money, and that's not how it works, because it opens you up to losing money, and then you start trading on your back foot, where you have to recover losses. And I genuinely, literally cannot remember the last time I was in that position, because I'm also exercising good risk management. And that means I'm never risking too much money on any one trade, and that allows me to go into each trade with a good approach. I'm not feeling desperate, I'm not feeling bad about trading or anything like that, and that's what allows me to achieve what I consider to be quite a level-headed approach as well. So those are some interesting and important pieces that I figured I should mention. Thanks for your live. The coin drop when Bitcoin is right. I don't understand your comment, I'm sorry, bro. Don't I mean throwbacks instead of pullbacks? A pullback, to my knowledge, means means that the price is moving down. So I don't think I meant a throwback there. I don't think so. Will we have a CME gap to fill by Monday? Probably, yeah, probably, but I'm not worried about that. What do I think about the dollar increasing? Do I think it'll slow down Bitcoin? Well, it hasn't slowed down Bitcoin, because Bitcoin's at a new all-time high. It's started to move downwards a little bit, so that's good. You know, I think that it might just open and drop a lot more, because it's risen up by a lot, and I believe that this rise is a reaction rally, because we had many rises like this over the past months. See that? Many rises like this over the past months, and they all crashed. You know, and we've had, you know, all sorts of shapes and sizes. I mean, we had a big one right here, we had a small one right here, a very small one right here. You know, I just think that we might be in another one right now. The only thing that makes me a little bit unsure of that is the fact that there is some support here on the Fibonacci. However, I mean, this is a dollar index, so I don't know how relevant a Fibonacci is. It certainly was quite useful before, but you know, in my opinion, there's less reason to expect that the US dollar can perform well when you've got all the stimulus packages waiting to be released, and you know, things like that. I mean, this is not how the currencies tend to rise, so I'm not too worried about the US dollar holding Bitcoin back here. If I'm growing my retirement fund over the next 5 years, should I sell high and buy back low, or play the long game? Anna, that's a risk for you to consider on your own. I can't comment on that, I'm sorry. Phil, I love that only a few weeks ago you were saying how you would love to meet Tone Vase, and then this week you're hanging out at parties with him and special guesting on his live streams. Yeah, so that was really cool, Phil. It's cool that you caught that. Yeah, I was It's absolutely crazy because Tone Vays to me is like my role model in trading. You know, like he is an Elon Musk type figure for me, and so obviously to meet him was mind blowing. To have him sitting in my Ferrari was mind blowing, and he was on one of our streams the other day. I went on his stream 2-3 days ago or something, so that was really cool. Yeah, it's been amazing. He's still here, so obviously I go out with him every now and then, and yeah, I actually, if one of you guys remind me, I will take a look at his indicator later on in this video and give you my thoughts on that as well, if you want some super advanced analysis. Me personally, I only prefer doing advanced analysis. This is why I don't like to talk about beginner questions too much. I find them boring. I only like to do the really advanced analysis, but obviously, you know, less people would understand that, so there's less of an audience for it. So I tend to do it, you know, towards the end of the live streams. Can I look at Binance on the 15-minute? No, sorry. I don't trade Binance chart. Should I buy Bitcoin right now? I don't know. I think it's the right time to buy Bitcoin. I mean, it's at an all-time high. What do you think? You know, like, why didn't you buy Bitcoin at $12,000? I don't know. No, like in all seriousness, I don't know. I mean, look, I'm in a long position. That tells you something about how bullish I am. I certainly think Bitcoin's going to go up. Are we testing the 60k level on the next hours? Is 60k the new support? I certainly hope it will turn into new support. I think there's a good chance that it will if we end up dropping just a little bit lower, because we don't have to drop much lower in order to turn it into support. So that would be very cool. What Ferrari do I have? I have a Ferrari Portofino. I only want to know if you think I would profit more from a long run or several shorts. I mean, look, if you're trading more frequently, you're more likely to lose money. So it depends on how good you'll trade. You know, I mean, it depends on how good of a trader you are. You know, it's not it's not so simple to answer. This is the problem. I mean, I know that you're looking for a simple answer, but if I gave it to you, it would be irresponsible. There is no simple answer. It depends on you. How can the USA checks for $1,200 affect the crypto market? Because these checks would be, you know, a result of inflation, and that means the currency is getting weaker. If the currency is getting weaker, assets tend to rise against the currency. Thanks for your live stream. The coin. I don't understand your question, Fadi. I'm sorry. Like, it's not worded very well, so I can't read it. I'm really sorry. 1,200 viewers today. Thank you all for joining. Thank you for hitting up the likes and subscribing if you have done so already. Any good way to explain the MRI analysis method? I don't think so. It's not an easy indicator to explain. I'm gonna give it a try. Do you guys want me to do some really advanced? Do you guys want me to try explaining the MRI? I'm in a good mood, so if you guys want me to, I'll do it. Only if you will hit the like button and subscribe, though. That's the condition. Bear with me 1 minute. Let me know in the comments if you would like me to do some quite advanced analysis for a minute. It's going to confuse a lot of you. There's probably going to be more questions than answers after I do this, but I think it will be fun. I think it'll definitely be fun. So the MRI indicator, for those of you who don't know, is Tone Vays' indicator. So will there be girls on the yacht party? If you want girls, brother, there will be girls. It's not difficult to get girls on a yacht party in Dubai, as you can imagine. Already subscribed? Thank you very much. You guys have done it. Thank you. Thank you. I see those likes shooting up. So first of all, let me show you how to get the MRI indicator if you're curious. You're going to go to Google and type in Tone Vays. You're going to go to tonevays.com right here. Tonevays.com is his website. First time viewer, welcome. Hope you're enjoying the channel. Tonevays.com is his website. It's not loading up right now. I don't really know why. But over here, you will be able to go to products and services, MRI indicator. this is how you can get your hands on the MRI indicator. So here we go. The MRI indicator is an indicator that is based on, it's time-based, and someone should go message Tonebase and tell him I'm shilling his indicator right now. He's gonna love me for it. It's an indicator that it's based on time-based analysis that tries to predict where the market is ready to reverse from. So, you know, a lot of the time people analyze price, but they don't really analyze time. And there are theories around how long a market can be trending in one direction until it eventually reverses and goes down, or reverses and goes up. And that's what this indicator can help you analyze. I'm only going to spend the next like 3 to 10 minutes talking about this because this is going to be really hard for me to explain. Tonebase would explain it better, but as you can see right here, what we've got is well, we would start an uptrend. The first thing to look for is where an uptrend starts, which is, it's just momentum. Absolutely, yeah. So, but you know, it's a lot more complex than that. You know, like, it's not so easy to explain like that. We would have we have a 1 right here, which is an indication that the trend has reached one peak, and from here we would assume that this is a good take profit level. Let's go into the daily chart. It's probably easier on the daily chart. This is better. So you know, the MRI indicator right here, let's use a clean chart where I don't have any drawings, just so it doesn't get confusing. The MRI indicator right here is showing us that we've had the first top right here, and then we formed the second top, and now we're forming extensions of the rally continuing trading higher. So you know, crucially, I mean, this is actually painting a very bearish image right now on the daily chart. What we had was our first top that says we should stop trading higher, and then the second one, and I mean, it can go up to like 10, but it usually doesn't go past 3, and it looks like we're about to hit 3 relatively soon, because this orange arrow means that the next candle, almost no matter what, if we close around here, this is what the daily time frame, so there's there's 2 hours left in this candle. You'll probably see this. This is not a buy. This indicator is saying that Bitcoin is ready to drop, or at the very least, it's not saying that Bitcoin is ready to drop, but on a more nuanced level, it's saying that Bitcoin is ready to. It's saying that this is a good take profit area. That's what it's saying. Not necessarily that it's going to drop, but that it's a good take profit area. The reason that it's hard to say if it's going to drop is because this is a very bullish long-term rally, and it doesn't really take that into account. You know, this is where time-based analysis is a little bit more flawed, and you need to move on to something that's weekly, for example, where, I mean, even on a weekly time frame, to be fair, this is a little bit bearish, but we are certainly... you know, on the daily time frame, I think, yeah. I mean, so we've got three. We've got the main rally that hits a peak of 1 and then 2, and then we've got letters A, B, and C, and it shows us when the extension A has been completed. So it means, you know, this extension A started where, so we can trace this. The extension's complete at 13. So we trace this back 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, A7, A5, A4, A3. Where's A1? A1 starts on this candle, so we can see that the extension A means that there is a certain condition, and I can actually show you the extension if you're curious. If you're super technical, those of you who are on the autistic spectrum like me, you can pause the video and read this. This is the definition of what an extension A means. I'm not going to explain this to you, but it's where the trend has extended further, and it starts that extension on this candle, and you can count it up. You've got A1 here, A2 somewhere. I don't know where A2 is. It looks like it just jumps to A3. I'm not sure how that happened, but then A4, A5, and so on up to A13. A13 is where the extension closes. So this is saying that according to these conditions, the extension A has completed, which means that the market should stop trending higher. And then a few days later, it does stop trending higher. So it's not 100% accurate in this case, but that's not the point. It doesn't really need to be. This is time-based analysis, where it can tell you that according to time-based analysis, This day right here is a good day to get out of the market or take some more profits, because it looks like, according to time, the market should start retracing relatively soon. So obviously it was a little bit premature. It fired off 3-4 days early, but you know, it would have, you know, put you in a pretty good place to take some profits in the market. Then we get extension B completing. So if we follow this through, B is on candle number 8, then B9, B10, B11, and then B12, B13. And this indicator is very smart, because even if the price keeps on dropping, you can still complete an extension, because the extensions are calculated based off recent price action. So even though the trend hasn't extended further, you know, like B11 is on this candle, even though at this point when B closes, the trend hasn't extended further, it has extended further than the previous few days. So this is showing us that, yeah, the trend is losing some steam, but it still has done something bullish. And so it should be ready to close off. We're seeing the same thing with the C extension now. There's a different rule set for B and C, which I'm not going to go into, but C is on number 12, and like I said, they close at number 13. So we're gonna hit a C probably tomorrow, most likely tomorrow, and that indicates that, according to this time-based analysis, the trend should drop, because that means we've completed the A extension, completed the B extension, and we're probably going to complete the C extension tomorrow, and we've also topped out with a 1 and a 2, and this orange arrow means that we're going to get a 3 tomorrow. So, and these numbers are the main use of the indicator, showing us that we've trended up for too long. So the more consecutive numbers you hit, essentially what it shows us is that when and if the crash eventually comes, the stronger it will be. Doesn't necessarily mean we're more likely to crash. It does in different markets, but this is but counter based on the last 4 candles. Absolutely, yes. It doesn't necessarily mean that the market's going to crash now, but what it does mean is that if it does crash soon, it's probably going to get pretty ugly pretty quickly. I don't know how much of that made sense, but it's a very powerful indicator because it helps to put analysis into context. I don't like betting against this indicator. It generally doesn't end well. I'm just going to put it that way. It generally doesn't end well. One thing that it is useful for is that we will usually complete our extensions before we trade lower. And so what we can see right here, and this is where, you know, anyone who's using this indicator can understand it very well. Someone's asking, what is this indicator? This is Tone Vase's indicator, which is the MRI indicator, which you can find by typing in Tone Vase like this, space MRI in Google, and you can purchase it. This is a very complex indicator that is super, super useful. You can just count the green candles yourself. Yes, you can. You can do any calculation yourself, but that's why you have indicators, because they do it for you and they make your life easy. But of course, you can count them yourself and you can try. But right here, what we have is the A, and so where this is useful, where anyone can understand this indicator, is if you haven't completed an extension yet, it means that there might be a little bit more upside left in the market. And this is where, in my opinion, it's super useful. This is showing me that, you know, you've got A and B at 10, you've got A at 11, B at 11 here, A at 12 here. This means that, like I said, the extensions close at 13. So as soon as we hit, you know, like C13 is right here. So we get the down arrow and C. This shows us that the C extension is completed. As soon as we get the A extension and the B extension, it would be an indication that the market is ready to top out and start trading lower. And so we're getting those indications now, where we're nearly at the end of a good market rally on the weekly time frame. You know, where on a weekly time frame, we should start dropping down relatively soon. We can also see, you know, we hit a 1 and 2. These are, again, like I said, the main components of the indicator. We can also see where the 3 might come, if we're going to get a 3, by ticking this box. And right now, so you can see right here, now this is where it's going to get super confusing. Let me hide some lines. I don't know where I'm hiding these. Okay, I guess I'm not doing that. Oh, here it is. Is this it? Nope, that wasn't it. Bear with me. This is it. There it is. So you can see that we set the two right here. We top out. We have one top, then a second consecutive top, and the very next day we start a new count. Look, there's a 1, then there's a 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I'm not mistaken, when this hits a 9, yeah, when it hits a 9, it sets a third consecutive top. So this is showing us that in order to become very bearish, according to this indicator, we have 3 more weeks of upside, which is essentially another way of saying that according to this indicator, there should be another 3 weeks of continued upside move, at least 1 week because of extension A and extension B, and potentially 3 weeks more of upside movement. So this is this starts to become very useful, because on a, we ask ourselves, what can happen the next week? Well, in the next week, I think it's certainly quite likely that Bitcoin can rally up to $70,000 because we don't have much resistance up ahead. To set a third consecutive top, which would make a lot of sense for where Bitcoin ends up topping out. And I can show you this again if I kind of zoom out. I mean, these tops are pretty useful at predicting where Bitcoin might end up, finding some resistance. Look at this right here. This is a super beautiful example. We get a 1 right here, triggers a big downtrend. I mean, in terms of percentage and time, I mean, we're trading down for 42 days pretty much, down to a low, minus 37%. Very, very accurately calling this top right here. Again, 1 right here, this one, telling you to get out of the market just in terms of, in terms of time, we're trending up too high. Yes, we did get another 2 weeks of upside, but this would have caused you to exit your Bitcoin position if you listened to it at $10,000 to $8,000, which was a pretty good, pretty good average exit price. I mean, not perfect, far from perfect, but good. And you can see, I mean, it calls a lot of tops very, very well. So this is something that I'd keep an eye on, mainly to supplement other analysis. Anyway, that's enough time talking about the MRI indicator. I think I've given somebody a headache. I think I've given a few people a headache, but it's a very useful indicator, and someone mentioned, don't use any indicators, just get very good at pure price action analysis. And I agree. I think that pure price action analysis is the best way to go, but it's useful to understand these indicators as well, because they can really help supplement your analysis. And that's the point. You want to give yourself every edge you have in trading, and for the most part, doing regular price action analysis like I do on this channel all the time is good enough. It's perfectly fine. In fact, it's absolutely great. It's not good enough. It's spectacular. But having additional tools in your arsenal that you use from time to time is never a bad thing. And that's always something that I advocate for. Bear with me once again. A lot of people don't like the TA. Not like the MRI indicator, they just don't like TA in general, which is very funny, because it obviously works super well, but I guess they're just bad at it. I know they're just bad at it, that's why they say it doesn't work. A strong opinion on that, me personally. But yeah, I'm not the best person to explain it, so if you were interested in that indicator, then once again, type this into Google. You can check it out. It's worth reading if you're a bit of a nerd in trading. It's quite powerful as a tool, and again, like to supplement analysis, I think it's great. I think it's really, really useful. Phil in the comments, smash those likes up for FORFLIES. 500 likes, 1,200 viewers. Let's go for it. Let's get this up to 1,000 likes. I know you can do it. Let me know if you have any other questions that you want me to go through as well. Any specific topics that you would like me to cover. I'm enjoying this live stream. I'm sure you guys are as well. So thank you all for tuning in. The Portofino is on my dream car list. It's a very good car. Yeah, it's really cool. I would actually recommend you, before buying it, well, I mean, everyone would do this, to test drive it. I personally couldn't test drive it because I'm under 21, so I had to just buy it. Not necessarily that I regret it, because I knew everything about the car before I bought it, but it would have been cool to test drive it, because it's a slow car. Surprisingly, it's a Ferrari, so it's super fast, but it's a slow car. 0 to 60 in what, like 3 seconds? 3.2? 3.2 is slow. What is it? Let me check real quick, because now I'm curious. Because I forgot. Portofino 0 to 60. 3.4. This is not true. This is not. It's not 3.4. It's not that slow. It's slow, but it's not that slow. 3.3. Okay, this makes a little bit more sense. I don't know. 3.5. No way. As you can tell, it's a slow car, unfortunately. Yeah, I mean, it's made for road trips and stuff, and that's why I bought it. I like to road trip a lot. Do I also stake and yield farm? I don't, but I'm very interested in doing so on Swissborg. Swissborg has been performing absolutely amazingly. I took profits at this blue circle that I outlined. I even told you guys in video, so I'm really happy with that because it went up by 50% from this range. I was talking about Swissborg nearly every day with you guys, and it ended up rising up by more than 50%. Took profits here. I'm super excited about that. I love this project, and they offer staking at absolutely insane interest rates. If you're a premium member, and I forgot the condition to become a premium member, but if you're curious about any of it, there's a link in the description where you can join Swissborg and take a look at everything they're doing in their space, because I think it's really, really cool and well worth, 100% well worth checking out. That's, I don't do it, but I'm definitely considering it. Can I do a quick analysis on the hourly of Cardano? Yes, sure. This is the 1 hour chart of Cardano. And yeah, I mean, as I said this a few days ago when Cardano was trading around over here. It's looking to find stronger support areas, and it looks like it's done. This is Cardano against Bitcoin, by the way. USD is probably quite stable, but against Bitcoin, it's looking to find some more support. It's in that support right now. So if there was any range that I would consider to start buying Cardano, it would be right here. I would buy Cardano from here down to 1,600 Satoshis. This, in my opinion, is a pretty good buy range for Cardano. I think it's dropped a lot. I think it's dropped enough, at least to start getting some pumps now. So my strategy might be to ladder, you know, like one buy here, another buy here, another buy here, 33% to each of these blue lines, you know, for example. I think that would be a pretty healthy strategy. And, you know, just to reaffirm for those of you who are a little bit new to the channel with the analysis I did on Cardano before, this has historically been a very important level, these two blue lines. You can see how, I mean, this is where it peaked on the Binance chart on the first day. This is where Cardano fell down to after it peaked with its all-time high, which is super significant. I mean, a really big crash ended between these two blue lines. So that in itself is absolutely a massive pointer about how useful this area might be. And then not only that, it acted as resistance, as support and things like that with time earlier on, and we're now falling into it as support. So to me, this looks like a beautiful place to start loading up on Cardano again. I'll also look at it on the US dollar chart. But by the way, the basic principle there is old. In this case, you know, like old resistance, old support. If we're crashing down onto it from above, it'll probably turn into support again. I mean, that's usually how it works. So I definitely think that now Cardano is in a good place, in my opinion, to start kind of buying it. You know, I mean, I'm not giving you guys financial advice. Obviously, I never do, but this is just, you know, my opinion on the market. With the analysis that I give. You know, I was telling you guys that I thought it would keep on dropping, and it did, and now I'm saying that I think it might end up rising upwards. So definitely something I'm a little bit yeah, I'm excited about. This chart I want to do some analysis on, because I know most of you trade Cardano against the dollar. Only thing I'm thinking of doing here is yeah, kind of throwing a Fibonacci on here from perhaps this low up to the high. It bounced beautifully off 0.382 support. It has made good use of 0.5 support. 0.618 support has been useful as well. So, you know, the reason I'm checking these things is every single line has had some good interaction, which tells me, apart from the 786 line, which tells me that this Fibonacci retracement is valid, and that's the first thing I will check before I continue to use it. Now that I know it's valid, because other lines have been respected very well, I'm willing to say that Cardano might find some support at $1.01. What? I'm sorry, I got confused. Oh yeah, at $1.01, potentially just $1 basically, potentially a bit of a bounce zone for Cardano. For the most part, it looks to be in a good range. I think that Cardano should be able to break resistance at $1.20 pretty easily. I think it should be pretty easy for Cardano to break resistance at $1.20. So I might also consider to open a long position above kind of like $1.23, $1.23, $1.22. I think that if Cardano can rise up to this kind of level, it's just going to explode upwards. I really do think that's going to be the case for Cardano. Let's see where the Ichimoku cloud is. Doesn't agree with my analysis. Nope, not really. The 1 hour time, probably nothing valid. Yeah, nothing valid here. On the daily time frame, a lot of support, but very far away. See some momentum. Got a lot of momentum. Yeah, definitely. I think it's definitely gonna bounce somewhere soon. 100%. I think it's in a very good place to bounce. Look at that momentum. 4 hour time frame momentum. There's nothing. There's no spread. 1 hour time frame, probably. Yeah, there's no spread. So I think, yeah, all the analysis I can do on Cardano is telling me with this Fibonacci retracement, it should probably kind of rise up a little bit higher. And for those of you who don't really know about this tool, if you want to learn all about carrying out analysis with the skills that I have, the way that I know how to do it, I'm teaching it all to you in my style inside of the VIP group with in conjunction with one of our courses. So if you're curious about that and you want to join our group, you also want one of our courses, just let us know. We can bundle it in with your membership, usually for free, depending on which plan you take as well. So super great opportunity for you to get in the market and really benefit from the offers we've got inside of the group. Once again, for those of you who are just tuning in now, we did have an offer previously a long time ago of actually discounting our yearly membership by minus 75% off our old prices. And you know, I mentioned that this guy over here who took out 95% of his Bitcoin at 38K in order to buy a house, which is my favorite thing ever. This person joined VIP on his lifetime subscription a long time ago. Obviously super impressive, but he's made a lot of money. He would have renewed, so we should have had a yearly package. It was just a bad business decision, but we now only offer yearly packages as our highest tier, but we've included more in it as well. So you're not getting the same lifetime offer this guy had, but you don't need it. This guy clearly didn't need it either, because he mentioned that he's only trading with his remaining 0.25 BTC left in the market. And this next message that he sent me, this first message was on January 24. This message was on March 11. So within less than 2 months, this person ending up turning his 0.25 BTC into 0.8 and profiting another profiting 110,000 US dollars. I don't know if it's another 110 or if it's just 110, but still, no matter what, super impressive, very amazing gains. I mean, just doing absolutely amazingly. I mean, you know, just pause the video and read this person's message. He's exhibiting signs of being a very confident, safe trader, somebody who used to make stupid decisions, who used to be you know, feeling like a genius, feeling very you know, desperate and excited and greedy in the markets. He's now super level-headed, and he's getting paid for it. You know, this is the key point that I like to affirm with people who are interested in joining VIP is, you know, we have people here who are having their cake and being able to eat all of it, you know, and not gaining any weight. This is the point. You know, like the big profits that you want are possible, but they're also possible by exercising discipline. This is what people don't really get. You know, it's like thinking I can only have fun if I drink alcohol, whereas I'm showing you a way where you can have unlimited fun, but you're always completely sober and in control and safe, and you're not damaging yourself. And that's the approach that we're taking inside of VIP. And this person, I mean, you know, it took him less than 2 months to more than double his money inside of VIP, you know. So I mean, that says it all, even after he took out a bunch of his money to buy a house. So if you want the same package, this guy, in fact, this package is better because it involves our lifetime course, you know, even with phone calls with me, which is completely new. If you want access to this absolutely amazing, super powerful package, yacht parties in Dubai as well, then follow these steps on screen to ask me about VIP, and specifically ask me for information on our yearly package. And we'll give you all of that, because I think our assistants, my assistant is still online. If you can answer this, do I use the last price or mark price for my stop loss? Mark price. Let me double check though. I'll double check and get back to you. Just message me on Telegram. I never ever use the last price. Never. And where I can, I always use the index price. Worth noting. Have I used Market Cipher? No, sorry, haven't used that. Ethereum going sideways at the moment, so what do I think? Break up or down? I think Ethereum will do whatever Bitcoin is doing, but a little bit better. How high do I think this run is going to? I don't know, 70k, 100k, something really cool. Something really cool. Let's see if we have any questions here in the comments. Does the MRI indicator redraw? MRI indicator, the only time the MRI indicator ever redraws something is when the orange arrow that I showed you turns into a red arrow the next day. So this is where it will flash a warning, and if the warning comes into fruition the next day, the warning flash will be removed. That's the only thing it redraws, which in my opinion is good, because anything that redraws is almost unethical. But this just redraws. Is unethical with exceptions like this, because when it redraws, as in like removes a previous drawing, it's for functional reasons, so as to not confuse the user. So that's a good thing. Someone's saying the MRI indicator is flawed. It's wrong the majority of the time. You know, if you're saying that, it shows me that you're not really understanding how the MRI indicator is to be used. You know, one of the key ways that it's useful in a market like this is identifying take profit areas, and for that it's been extremely useful. It's something to use to forecast how much longer the market might have to continue rising higher in terms of time, and that's a very powerful tool to have in your analysis arsenal. You know, I mean, that should not be underestimated, in my opinion. And you know, if you're using it for buy and sell signals, you know, because you want a bot or an algorithm to tell you what to do because you can't make your own trading decisions, then that's different. You know, like an MRI indicator is not for you. But if you're using it to give yourself an extra edge with time-based analysis that people almost never do, you actually see that a lot of my analysis is time-based. I talk about, you know, short consolidations, why we're likely to have more short This is time-based analysis. If you like that, if you find that useful, and you clearly can tell I find it useful because it's most of my analysis in a market like this is time-based analysis, then this tool can give you an extra edge. You certainly have to invest time into learning it, but actually this person with this testimonial here, I'm not sure if it's this one or no, it's another message he sent me, mentioning that he's learning to treat trading more like a business, which is, you know, kind of what it is. So, you know, it might be that every now and then it's a good idea to sit down and watch 6 hours of tutorials and theory content on an indicator like the MRI indicator, you know, like my course or whatever. You know, that you have to do that every now and then to progress your skills, but that's not a very high ask for the rewards that trading can bring, because like I said, I don't need to sit here and trade all day. I just kind of set my orders, set my targets, set my alerts, and then I live my life, and that's a pretty good way to live life. And if I have to sit down and be a student, you know, every 6 months for like 10 hours, that's not a problem, and it's never even that bad. You know, I mean, I haven't had to do anything like that for over a year, you know, because I have my skills and I'm just working on refining them and improving them by taking notes on where my skills are going well and where they're not going so well. So I think that's really, really important. Bear with me. Sorry, I just had to send off some messages there. I want to answer your final questions and head off because it is 2:30 a.m. and I have a lot of stuff to do tomorrow. So I don't know how much sleep I'm getting tonight. Why am I not keen on Polkadot? I'm sure it's amazing. I've just never analyzed it. Don't really want to. Where do I think Bitcoin will fall from the new all-time high in the short term? like I said, I think the low that I'd be expecting is probably around $60,000. I wouldn't expect Bitcoin to go lower than that. Can you please do a quick analysis on Cardano? Yeah, there you go. Did it a few minutes ago. What is my opinion on Dogecoin? It's a joke. That Martini guy intro music says Tone Vase is bearish. Yeah, he's a funny guy. Please smash that like button for FORFLIES, everybody. Thank you very much. Yeah, please go ahead and do that. We're at 600 again. Let's go for 1,000. It's super achievable. I'm sure we can do that. Which points are important for the best leverage? What do you mean by which points? I don't understand. FORFLIES, do I use Swissborg to trade? Yes. Give us the link to that page. Which page? To the Tone Vase page? Here, I'm gonna put it in the comments. It's in the comments. Someone asked for the link to the Tone Vase page, I think. Do I see a failure of the massive global banks such as Federal Reserve of the USA being possible? Yeah, anything's possible, but certainly not likely. Not anytime soon. I don't think anything like that's likely. Do I search for low market cap coins with good potential to invest in, or do I just trade major cap coins? I only trade the major coins because they're significantly lower risk. However, I can multiply my reward and make it as sexy as the smaller coins by applying leverage. And once again, if you want to know how, for example, you know, Bitcoin is only up by 6.5% today, but I've made well over 20% profit today. If you want to know how, it's because I'm using platforms like Phemex, which allow me to leverage my trades up. If you don't know how that works, then I have tutorials on it, which you can watch inside of the VIP group, and you can just kind of learn what leverage trading is. But this is the key platform among two others that I love to use. And they're moving very well. So one of the best parts about it, like I said, most exchanges do require KYC. These guys do not, so they will not require you to submit your passport, your driving license. Your privacy is kept safe here, which is obviously very important. And following the link in the description, you will also get free money to trade with when you first deposit Bitcoin, which you can use to you know, press the buttons and test what's going on. So if you want to watch my tutorial on Phemex, then you can type this into YouTube in a new tab. And if you want to sign up, my link is down below, which will give you that free deposit bonus. If you're in the United States or other territories like that, you will need to use a VPN, but of course I cannot endorse that. Do I often use high leverage? Define high leverage. To me, I don't use high leverage, and the highest leverage I typically use is 10x. Let's see what other questions we have here. Can I get quick analysis of Litecoin? I don't really want to. I'm not interested in Litecoin. Can I speak faster? Absolutely. Which points are important for the best leverage? Again, I don't understand your question. I'm sorry. Thanks for your live stream. Some of your questions are not worded very well, so I don't understand them. Do I think it's still likely that Cardano drops below $1? Probably. It's certainly possible. I don't know how likely it is. Let me take a look. Hang on. Yeah, you know, I mean, eventually, I definitely think that it's possible. I mean, it's at an all-time high. It's peaked at $1.50. It certainly can drop below $1 again. 100%. It's possible. I don't know, but it's possible. There's way too many Australians and Russians in Dubai. This is annoying. I haven't met a single Australian in Dubai so far. I've met a lot of Russians. In fact, I'm learning Russian, but haven't met a single Australian. So that's interesting. Maybe you mean British. Maybe you just don't know the difference between British and, because there's a lot of British people. Funding rates are beginning to climb, which usually indicates a correction is due. Interesting. Although that's correlation, doesn't really equal causation, but I understand, and that's still a good point. FORFLIES, don't I think that a stock market crash, everything crash? What? I'm sorry, I don't understand your question. Thanks for the COMTA. You're very welcome, Daniel Katz. Thank you for tuning in again today. What are my thoughts on the bearish divergence on the daily charts? No thoughts. No thoughts. We have a bearish divergence nearly every day. We don't have a bearish divergence right now. Oh yeah, we do. It's this is a pretty big bearish divergence, bro. I mean, Bitcoin's nearly doubled from there. Well, Bitcoin has doubled from there. So I'm sorry, I just burst out in laughter. Yeah. Yeah, I don't take him seriously. You know, I mean, there's a bearish divergence all the time on the chart, you know, and we had a bearish, this is the thing, like we had a bearish divergence down here when Bitcoin was at 12,000 up to 17,000, 18,000. You can't make this shit up. When Bitcoin was how much? When Bitcoin was 3 times lower than where it is right now, it had a bearish divergence. You know, this is how stupid they are. Just absolutely useless indicator. We had a bearish divergence since $12,000. Since $12,000, we had a, you know, like Bitcoin has done a 5x gain since then, and it's had a bearish divergence. This is how useless they are. You know, I mean, and the thing is, you know, a lot of people talk about them because they're relatively easy to understand and learn, but that's what makes them misleading, you know, because people think they've understood it fully, but they haven't. And, you know, that's why I stick to, you know, the much simpler analysis with my basic price action, with my horizontal boxes and lines and things like that, because it's a lot easier to do accurate analysis, in my opinion. Can I comment on over managing trades and how to avoid this? I don't know what you mean by over managing. I'm guessing what you mean by over managing trades is you would be in a trade, but you adjust the trade a little bit too much because you're watching the market too much. And, you know, the key way to avoid that, in my experience, oh, I remember the real talk I wanted to give you. It's about a lot of your, if I forget, remind me by saying that a lot of your problems can be fixed with overnight fixes, but I'll get to that in a second. T-Town, to answer your question specifically about over managing trades, one of the easiest ways to avoid that is just by setting alerts. So you don't actually do analysis, you just set alerts that when we hit certain price levels, you will come back to the chart and you will decide, do you enter a position, do you adjust your stop loss, do you take profits, do you tighten your stop, you know, things like that. You only do it when there's an alert set, and that means that you don't have time to obsess over the market when there's no need to obsess over it. The only other analogy that's coming to mind here, which is another terrible analogy, is like when you're a guy trying to hit on a girl, it's very, very unproductive to spend all of your day thinking about her because you'll obsess over her and it's just not attractive. But if you've got your own stuff going on in your life, you won't really obsess over her, and that way you'll do better. And it's kind of the same thing with trading. You know, when you're doing other stuff but you're not actually analyzing or trading, that's when you tend to do better. Now, for this real talk piece, so shout out to those of you who've tuned in like this far in. We're an hour and a half in. This is super important, and I think it's going to benefit a lot of people. So for those of you who are enjoying this, before I get into it, please do hit up the likes and subscribe if you haven't already. This is turning into a very, very good live stream, so I'm very glad we're doing this. Let me just see how many of you have subscribed today. I think we have seen some good channel growth, so thank you all for doing so. And if you are enjoying it so far, then please do subscribe and like if you haven't already. But you know, the key point that I want to outline right here, which I think is going to help a lot of you, is the idea that a lot of people's trading problems can be fixed overnight. And this is not to, you know, like people say, well, you can't get successful overnight. That's true, but you can put yourself a lot further on that track overnight, you know. And so there's simple things like, I'm going to piss a lot of people off with this one, but if you get annoyed by this, just supplement the word depression for anything else. But there's simple ways that someone can cure their depression. Like most people who are depressed are not actually depressed. They just live shit lives. Like they don't move. They eat shit. They watch the news all day. They scroll Instagram. They're not getting any sun. Like, of course you're fucking depressed. You have a shit life, you know. Like, you can fix this stuff overnight. Go outside, enjoy the sun if you can, if you live in a place with sun. You know, like, stop eating processed foods, drink more water, stop drinking alcohol. You know, like, you can fix these things overnight and things start getting better. And it's the same thing with trading. There are certain things that you can do overnight, and I'm going to list a few of them. So get a pen and paper and write this down. Write it down on your phone, you know, message it to yourself or whatever. There's a few things that can instantly fix your trading and really put you miles ahead. And before I get into this, one of the key things I want to mention here is that these are things that I demonstrate on a daily basis inside of VIP. So I not only tell you what they are, I also show you how I'm using them. I give you feedback on how I'm adjusting them. And I talk about them, you know, like on a very regular basis. This is an integral part of how I trade. and you get that across in VIP. That's why a lot of our members, they will join and, you know, they will know nothing about trading. And when they've spent some time in VIP, they will turn into people who don't even need the service anymore. You know, they can do absolutely everything on their own. I'm not giving you a fish. I'm not giving you a fishing pole. I'm showing you how to build your own. That's the goal. Anyway, this list of things that can fix trading overnight. Number one, journaling trades. So you write down every trade you're making, and you write down all the details about it. You write down reasons you should enter, reasons you shouldn't enter. So you can see when I share those posts in VIP, I write down the reasons I should enter this trade and reasons I shouldn't. Then beyond that, there is, you know, you write down your physiological state. You know, are you well rested? Did you drink alcohol? Do you feel angry because you had a fight? You know, you write that stuff down, and you write down absolutely everything that might go into it. I've gone in a lot more detail about this inside of the VIP video on journaling trades. So if you're already in VIP and you haven't seen that video, I re-uploaded it actually. So one of the things I'm doing is I'm refreshing some of the content inside of VIP that's old. I'm recording it in better ways and things like that. And one of the recent ways I've done that, the most recent way I've done that, is I've re-recorded the journaling trades video, because I know that this would instantly fix so many problems in a lot of people. I mean, just the first instance of you doing it, you know, if you've had a bad trade, will let you identify what triggers a bad trade, and it'll just, you know, you'll write it down and you'll feel like shit about it. And you'll be like, why would I do something so stupid? And you won't repeat the same mistake again. This is an instant overnight fix that can help a lot of people. So you guys already know how to join VIP. I see some questions about it, and you can reach out on Telegram. My assistants are still online, so they will get back to you very soon if you are curious about it. But you know, this is where we have you know, a lot of growth potential, you know, just in journaling trades. Like I said, there is a full video on it inside of VIP. I've even given you my literal spreadsheet for it, so all the data points that I put in, along with a demo entry, you know, so like a random fake entry that I would have put into my trading journal that is exactly like a real entry, and you can get a feel for how I fill it in, and I explain it all with all its benefits as well. If you can't find that video but you're in VIP, just message me, and myself or one of my assistants will send it to you. So journaling trades. Number two, setting alerts. So I've already talked about it in this live stream quite a bit, but by setting alerts instead of doing analysis and checking the price every 5 minutes, you will completely detach yourself from analysis, and this will allow you to live your own life and not overanalyze. You know, like, again, we go back to this analogy of flirting with a girl, or better yet, you know, like you're in text or whatever, and you just start overanalyzing what you texted, and you start doing stupid shit. You know, like you just keep on thinking, but that word was bad, maybe I should have put in a different emoji, whatever. You know, it doesn't matter whether it's text, it's real life, it's a girl, it's your boss, it doesn't matter. When you overanalyze, you start to do stupid stuff, and this insulates you from doing that if you set alerts, and that's your key way to interact with the market. That's how I've been interacting with the market today. And I'm going to be completely honest with you, ladies and gents, today. I mean, some of you might think I'm some guru and I know absolutely everything. I'm a really cool trader. And you know what? I'll take your titles because it might be true. But the reality, the truth is, one of the key reasons that I'm talking so passionately about setting alerts today is because I wasn't doing this over the past couple of days. And I started to overanalyze a little bit. I mean, you know, for me, overanalyzing is still like, you know, very, very low key. You know, like I really don't do much as a trader and analyst. Like I keep hitting that point. No, like it's still not much, but I was doing a little bit more. And I started feeling like I was getting stressed out about it. I started feeling like I was compromising on my principles as a trader. And so I switched to and I did this even today as well. Like I did it more because I enjoyed the benefit of it over the past few days. I switched to just using alerts instead of checking the price of Bitcoin. And so, you know, I'm going to give you a very real example of this right now with a real situation that happened today, where my position on Bitcoin open, let's zoom in onto the 15-minute time frame, my position on Bitcoin open around this candle right here, around over here. But we started you know, kind of slowing down around these price areas. We started kind of consolidating sideways, and I started to think, you know, are we going to crash back down? Are we going to trigger my stop loss? Is something bad going to happen? And I was looking at the price constantly, and then I thought, why am I being such a bitch? I swear to God, this is what I thought to myself. I asked myself, why am I being such a bitch? I need to set alerts and move away from this screen. And that's exactly what I did. It was a little bit of tough love that I had to give myself because I was overanalyzing. I was breaking my key principle of not getting overinvested in this analysis right here. And that's what enabled me to then eventually, I mean, obviously do very, very well, because I then, you know, when I set my alerts, which, you know, were at like 60,500 and so on, I didn't need to watch the market anymore, and I just got a ping on my phone when what I wanted to happen happened. And so, you know, I would have set an alert at you know, like this blue line, and another alert at this blue line. So if we drop, I get notified. If we rise, I get notified. Other than that, I don't really care what's happening, you know. And this, you know, because what started to happen, this is for real. Like I promise you, this happened today. Because we started consolidating sideways, I started to think maybe I should adjust my stop loss plan a little bit, or maybe I should take a little bit more profit, or maybe this trade is going to go bad. And I started to think like, no, this is a good trade. You know, like I committed to this idea 2 days ago because it's a good trade. It was a good idea. It was a good idea before. It's still a good idea now. Why am I doubting myself? You know, like I had these thoughts going through my head. And so I figured, right, I've got to step away. I've got to set these alerts. And this is going to, like, most likely, because every time, I swear, every time I did this, it worked out in my favor. I stopped overanalyzing it. I stopped overmanaging my trade, going back to your question, Terrence. And it went very, very well for me because I just set the alert. And then the price rose up. And then I decided, all right, 20% profit. I'm going to close another 5%. That was it. It was that simple. So, this tip of setting alerts, the reason I like it so much is it means that there's less work for you and you'll end up making more money. So hopefully you'll end up making more money. You know, I certainly do when I do this. So journaling trades, setting alerts, what else is there? You know, just easy overnight fixes that'll fix your trading. Honestly, like an honest conversation with yourself, I think, about how much you respect your money, because most people don't, and that's why they put their money in stupid places and they take unnecessary risks. So having a real honest chat with yourself about that could be a game changer for a lot of people. Asking yourself, if you make stupid gambling decisions, why you do that, why you're being so stupid. Ask yourself those kind of questions. I do this, as you can tell. It's tough love. That can, you know, you'll feel like shit for a few hours. You'll wake up feeling refreshed, knowing that you're not going to make stupid decisions like that again. I'm trying to think if there's any other. Do you guys have any other like overnight fixes that you would recommend? Because I'm curious. If you do, I'd love to hear them. How do I set alerts? Brilliant answer. Thank you very much. I'm glad you liked it. It was a good question. You guys are liking this quote where I ask myself why I'm being such a bitch. I have to give myself that tough love. Someone says that you really like my brutal style, and I'm glad you do, because it's absolutely essential in my opinion. What was the question I just read out but I didn't answer? How do I set alerts? So you can set alerts. Hello, why is it not focused? There we go. You can set alerts on the TradingView app. You can log in on your phone on the same account that you have. There's a link in the description, by the way. If you don't have TradingView, you can sign up using that link. You can log in on your laptop and then right-click the chart, and then click Set Alert. And then that alert, if you're logged in on your phone, will go to your phone. But only, if I'm not mistaken, only if you have a paid plan on TradingView. But there's a lot of free alternatives. Just type in like Bitcoin price alert. Coinbase.com has that feature. If you have the Coinbase app, there's a lot of, you know, I mean, a lot of exchange. There's Delta, the phone app on Android and iOS, also allows you to set alerts when coins reach certain levels. So there's a lot of ways to set alerts. But yeah, I'm wondering if you guys have any other instant tips on, you know, like overnight fixes for trading, because this is what I'm looking for. The thing is, these are quick, easy things you can do that will completely change your success in trading, and that's super, super powerful. I mean, that's really, really important. If you guys have liked any of those tips, by the way, please do smash up the like if you haven't already. Smash up the likes and subscribe as well if you haven't already as well. Obviously, it would be very, very cool. What car did I buy? I bought a Ferrari most recently. Although I'm planning on buying a little Jeep. A modded one. Arsalan, I'm not sure if you're watching this, Arsalan, one of my friends. But he got me turned on to the idea of, obviously a lot of people have cars like Jeeps here in Dubai because they're driving out in the desert, which in my opinion is terrifying and scary. I don't know why people would do that, but I want to try it. And I would like to get a Jeep that's heavily modified and almost quite dangerous, and just enjoy that. Wow, amazing comment right here. Johnny saying, thank you, FORFLIES, you've just changed my life. You're welcome, man. You're very welcome. That's amazing. I've got nothing else I can say to that. No fairy talk here. Real analysis, real talk, real life lessons only. Yeah, 100%. That's why this channel is not more popular than it is. It's the truth hurts. There we go. Reality is good. You know, I mean, it absolutely is a case of, you know, like it's difficult. What did you expect? You're trying to trade and turn thousands into millions. You thought this shit would be easy? Come on, you know. You know, like, what did you expect? It was gonna be an easy ride? Come on, you know. There's gonna be difficult parts to it. You guys are saying that I violated everybody in this live stream. But that's the point, because we all do stupid things, and we need to recognize when we do it and and start to make better decisions. Phil, how long is it until I'm old enough to drink? 2 years. I'm 19. Gotta be 21. In Dubai, that is. But I don't like alcohol anyway, so even if I could, I don't. My background view is very nice. Where is it? Thank you very much. It is the Burj Khalifa. I love showing it off, as you can tell. Can you see that? That's the, well, I'll just turn this off. And you can see right there, these lights. These are some shopping centers, and below that is all water. Like right down there, that's all water there. Really, really cool. Very central place in Dubai. But anyway, we need more light. Let's get it back to normal. I want the blue light back. Where's the blue light? Oh, this is cool. Look at this. Looks kind of ominous. I'm gonna go for, I don't want blue anymore. I want this. I want red on that side and blue on that side. That would look really cool. Bam. There we go. Oh, yes. Look at that. A song of ice and fire. There we go. Have I ever been told my accent sounds Scottish? Yes. And it's nearly offensive because I think I'm very easy to understand, and Scottish people are not. You haven't heard a Scottish person if you think I sound Scottish. That's all I'm saying. If you think I sound Scottish, you haven't met any Scottish people. Scottish people are they don't talk like this. They're really hard to understand. Can I share my trading journal? No, it's very personal. Like I said, it's all about confronting yourself with honest truth. So I do this in VIP, but I don't do it publicly because it's embarrassing. You know, like I do stupid shit. I don't want to admit it. You know, so I do it in VIP, but not anywhere else. And I don't even share my trading journal in VIP. I just share the lessons, and occasionally when there's something big, I would outright say, hey, look, I did something really stupid. Here it is, that kind of thing. I really want to give you guys more instant overnight fix ideas because I think this is super beneficial because, you know, these are small things that can overnight take you 30% closer to very successful trading. And in my opinion, that's super useful. This lighting is so cool. I'm loving it so much. I wonder what happens if I turn this off. Oh yeah, this is not good. That's no good. Let's turn it back on. I guess good sleep, you know, I mean, it's little things like fix your life, you know, like if you drink every day, stop it. You know, if you don't work out, start working out. It's stuff like that that generally will make you like have a better life, but it will also influence how well you think. Another one is probably trade with less money. That's a huge one. Trade with less money. If you trade with less money, you're a lot less likely to overmanage your trades or really care is the overall idea. You know, again, we go back to this analogy of you know, like you're courting a girl. You know, the less you care, the better, because that means you're less attached to the overall outcome, which means you're just more attractive. And it's the same thing here. You know, the less you care about the outcome, the more likely you are to commit to original trading plans and things like that. And it just takes pressure off you. So trading with less money instantly fixes that, in my opinion. That's probably the biggest one. In my opinion, that's the biggest one. Trading with less money. Most people trade with too much money. Let's see what else there was. If you guys had any other ideas. Which movie do I recommend for tonight to watch? I don't like movies. I don't know, like Wolf of Wall Street is good if you haven't seen it yet. The Big Short is very timely right now, so that would be cool. Yeah. Don't trade more than you can afford to lose. Yeah, 100%. Don't make FOMO trades. I mean, FOMO trades aren't that bad. Well, they are bad, but see, that's not an overnight fix, because you don't get FOMO opportunities every day. I don't think. I don't think. I'm not sure. A tip: be more interactive with the chat instead of reading your script. I don't have a script. What do you think I'm doing? I'm only reading the chat. You know what? I've realized that it's not necessarily my neck that's bad. It's all the AC in Dubai. Like everywhere has AC. Would you recommend I get a Cherokee, Mitch? If I get a Jeep? Just stop giving a fuck. Yeah, I mean that's essentially the same as you know, trading with less money and stuff like that. The lecture was legendary. I'm glad you liked it, mate. Thank you. How old am I? I'm 19. The thing is, you need to punish yourself somehow. I mean, the key way you punish yourself is you just feel terrible because you've lost money and you've set your progress back. I mean, there's nothing worse than that. You know, if you need to punish yourself by doing something stupid like, I don't know, withholding chocolates or, you know, donating to a politician you hate, then fine. But, I mean, we're adults here, you know, like we don't need to have childish punishments for bad choices. You know, we just need to understand we did something stupid and take note of it and then don't do that stupid thing again. You know, like we don't need punishments like children. I don't think that's necessary. Any tips on texting? No, not really. Why would I have tips on texting? Looks like those were, you know, a lot of those overnight fixes. If we have anything that you guys want me to go over finally in this live stream, then please let me know and I'll do that. Otherwise, I will look to go off quite soon. We have now hit the 2-hour mark. I keep on going out of focus. Is it the light? It is the light. I think it's because the lights are different. I'm going out of focus all the time. But if there's anything final that you want me to go through, then please let me know. And I will do so. Once again, I would like to urge you guys to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't done so already, if you have enjoyed this live stream. Always does help me out. I really do appreciate it, as you know very well. We're up to 750, so yeah, 1,000 is really very much in reach. So I think we can do that before we head off on this live stream. Which movie? Yeah, I already said that. As an American that has talked to Scottish people, I completely agree. Yeah, there you go. You know, like I don't have a Scottish accent. At most, I have a London accent, but well, I do. I mean, I have a British accent, but to me, this is no accent. You know, like how Americans say I don't have an accent. I mean, you do. It's an American accent, but they don't really see that. Yeah, someone in the comments here saying I'm Scottish and you definitely sound English. Yeah, exactly. Wolf of Wall Street is your #1 film. So same for me, man. It's a really, really good film. What do you mean by less money? When I say trade with less money, I mean... There's police lights? Someone said they can see police lights in the Address Hotel. So for those of you who don't know much about this view, that building there is the Address Downtown Hotel, and one of our viewers are staying in there. So if he can see police lights, I can probably see them too. It's really cool. Like, everyone in Dubai bumps into each other. I remember I was walking around the Burj Khalifa one day, and I just randomly bumped into Chris Crypto in his Lambo. Like, I was walking to the mall. I think I was going there for dinner or something. And I swear, like, he just pulls up at the red light, and I shake his hand. We just have a we just have a laugh. We talk about plans to travel and stuff like that, and that's it. It's just normal life in Dubai. You'll see your friend pull up in a Lambo at a red light, and it's just nothing, no big deal. I love that. What do I mean by less money in trading? I mean, if you're usually trading, with 0.1 BTC, consider trading with 0.01 or 0.02. If you only have 1 Bitcoin and you trade with 10% of it, then consider trading with 1% of it or 4% of it, just with less money. Put less money into each trade, and you might see that your trading decision-making skills get better. Do I have a favorite time frame that I would like to use on the chart before jumping into a trade? No. I look for confluence. So if analysis is the same on 1 hour, 4 hour, 1 day, that's typically the best. And I do have confluence now. That's typically what I like to aim for. But 1 hour and 4 hour are my main time frames that I look at. 1 day as well, again, just for confirmation and putting things into context. I should trade with less money and smoke less, but thanks for the movie recommendations. You saw these. Yeah, maybe you watch too many movies if you've already seen them. I don't know. I find movies pretty boring, so I don't really like them too much. Scared money don't make no money. That's the thing. That's why I said to trade with less, because if you trade with a lot of money, it means that your money is scared, and that's not a good thing. So the unfiltered tip that I would have given is be rich, because if you're rich, it's very easy to not be invested in the outcome of a trade. And the goal as a trader, and fortunately, by the way, I learned this before I became rich. I'm not rich, but before I became rich, I learned this. So, but that's the because at the end of the day, what it comes down to is how desperate you are to trade, how desperate you are to make money, and the more money you have, the less desperate you are. So the goal, I think, from a mindset point of view, is to put yourself in a place where you think like you're wealthy, even though you're not, and you'll just become wealthy that way. That's how it almost always works in any field where someone is aiming for wealth. That's how it works. If your money is not scared, it will do well, and scared money is typically big money because it's big. So why would it be scared? You know what I mean? And that's where trading is a game that's more difficult the lower you are in terms of the wealth spectrum. However, it's super achievable. This is the point, like this is a channel with 840 viewers right now. Me, myself, born broke, living in welfare and stuff like that. Like I'm living proof of it, like you don't need to be rich in the first place. You just need to think like them. And one of the key ways is you use various different tools, like journaling your trades and trading with less money. So exercising risk management, which is a tool, and I forgot what the other one was, setting alerts. You do these things to essentially limit how much you care, about how attached or detached you are from the outcome, and that is what can contribute to success massively. So those are those are three really, really important metrics to consider, in my opinion. 3 important tools. Monira, lots of love from Kuwait. Thank you very much. I would love to visit Kuwait soon. Is it open right now? I would love to go. How long have I been in Dubai? A long time now. I don't know, like 6 months or something. It's been too long. Probably more than 6 months. Window frame is in perfect focus. Yeah, I don't know why. Well, I know why. It's probably because of the light. Thank you. The stream is great. Thank you. I really enjoyed it as well. It was very fun. You're English and I sound Scottish? Nah, there's something wrong with you, mate. I don't know where you got that from. Dude, can I meet you and Tone? Sure. Yeah, just message me. I don't know about Tone. I mean, that's his decision, but I don't mind. Why am I not showing the Bitcoin chart anymore? Because I'm not doing analysis. Now we're talking about more broad subjects. Do I do 15-minute time frame analysis on Bitcoin? No, not really. Only to kind of prove a point. Otherwise, no, not really. I sound Irish. I don't get that often. I don't hear Irish. I'm usually not considered to be Irish. That's funny. Yeah, I guess the reason is someone's saying I said I'm not rich, but I bought a Ferrari. Right? Okay, I get what you mean, but I mean there's different spectrums to being rich, and I guess being in Dubai, I'm really not up there at all. Obviously doing pretty well for my age, but not up there. Any final things you want me to go through? I will be rounding it off here. Why are all the YouTubers in Dubai? Typical reasons you would expect: taxes, weather, politics. The culture, when I say politics, the conservative culture. Standard stuff. What is my best experience in Dubai? It's actually not in Dubai. It's driving to Ras Al Khaimah to Jebel Jais. Will I be the commentator at Tone Vase's convention? I would love to. That would be very cool. Someone saying in Dubai that's poor having a Ferrari. Yeah, it is. And not that it matters, but my Ferrari is the cheapest Ferrari they make, like the cheapest new model. So it's still a Ferrari. It's still expensive, don't get me wrong, but like if I'm trying to play wealth games, I'm losing in Dubai. Put it that way. Man, very good live, great tips, really appreciate it. I'm 28 and hearing it from a 19-year-old is very refreshing. Thank you. Glad you're liking it. At what price did you buy Bitcoin for the first time ever? I don't remember the price. I think it was $1,600 or $1,800 or $2,000, somewhere around there. A month in Dubai feels like a year. I don't like it here. I don't get the hype. I'm just here for the check. Yeah, I feel similar. Not necessarily that it feels like a year, but 6 months in one place is too much for me. I think it might be more than that. I don't even remember. And so, yeah, I think it is. It's definitely more than 6 months. So, I don't like being in one place for that long. Like I like to travel. So it doesn't matter if it's Dubai or probably even LA. Maybe not LA. I might be comfortable living in LA all year round, but for the most part, I need to keep being on the move. Otherwise, I just get bored. So, yeah. When first starting out, how did you choose which online business to pursue? I started my first online business at 13. Didn't necessarily choose it. I didn't know that I could run a business. And I learned that I could, and it blew my mind. It was absolutely spectacular, and I was very, very happy, so I did it. And it was a very, very fun business. And I think back, I could have made so much more if I knew then what I know now. And I'm still quite young. Like I wish I had a mentor when I was 13. That was me. I wish I could have mentored 13-year-old me. It would be so different. Not to say that it's bad, but I'm just thinking of upward potential. Because for me, I do everything in my life really fast. That's why I'm a leverage trader. I want the gains quick. Like I want to upgrade. I want to level up quick. And that's been my whole life, so I always think about how things could have been more efficient or can be more efficient now, and that's what drives nearly every single facet of my life. that's important to me. Have I ever been to Morocco? No, not yet. I really want to go to Casablanca. Phil, I feel you. I'm 32 and he's changing my life with his life lessons. That's really, really cool. Honestly, I wouldn't have expected that, but thank you. Dubai is good for tax. Yeah, there is no tax, so it's pretty good. Thanks for your analysis and videos. I think you're the best analyst. Thank you. Do you think it's possible to work in the crypto branch instead of a normal job? Of course, yeah. Depends. Depends where you work, of course. Just be born into a rich family. It's the easiest way to make money, of course, but that's a complete loser's perspective. And if you're not born into a rich family, then you can't help it. So maybe if you're really good looking and you're a woman, you can marry into it, but you know, you're kind of out of luck. So you gotta work for it at that point. I just joined. Do I think Bitcoin is going to crash soon? Nope. What achievement in my life am I most proud of? Oh, that's a good one. Probably my weight loss, which would probably surprise a lot of you. But I used to be really fat. I wonder, I don't have any pictures that I can show you on my laptop, but I'm sorry, on my computer, but it's probably my weight loss that I'm most proud of. Yeah, probably that. That or learning that this is not necessarily an achievement, but learning that responsibility is more important than blame. That I am responsible for everything in my life, even if I'm not to blame for a bad situation. That was very useful to learn in my teenage years when I was depressed. I wasn't. I thought I was because it's trendy to be depressed these days. I'm sorry, I'm just going to go ahead and say it. It's a fucking trend to be depressed. It's a fashion statement. I am depressed. Oh. My feelings. You're not fucking depressed. You just have a shit life because you're not healthy. You're not depressed. What do you expect sitting on your phone all day and eating shit and not drinking water? Of course you feel like you're depressed. That's what it was for me. So that achievement was realizing that it's all my responsibility, I guess. If I only had a small amount in Bitcoin, would I hold it or trade it? No matter what, I would always trade it. Don't go to LA right now, it's shut down. Yeah, but I plan on going when it opens up. I seem the perfect man for a woman. I am God's gift to women. Do I think crypto trades are real? Of course. Of course I think they're real, yeah. How does the UAE government get money if there's no taxes? They charge you fees. So their model is not necessarily that there's taxes, but like a company formation might cost you like $5,000. And that's a lot. You know, you can imagine how many companies there are and you're paying, you know, something similar to that every year. I don't know the exact numbers, but they're pretty high. You know, like in the UK, it'll cost you like £50 to start a company. Over here, it might cost you like $3,000, £3,000, you know, so things are more expensive with the fees, and that's how they run it. And then it's just it's a rich country, oil money and stuff. So it's just a rich country to begin with. Are those goggles rose colored? Yes, they are. Yeah, Porsche design. So can we meet up sometime before I go to LA? I'm at address JBR, the new one. Check your Twitter DMs. Yeah, I don't mind. I want to go there, actually. I haven't been to that address hotel. Do they have shisha there? Because if there's shisha there, I'll come. I'll come for shisha, 100%. Let's see the before pic. Can I pull it up? Let me think how I can get this before picture. Bear with me. I'll see if I can get it. Why do you want to know my shoe size? What kind of question is that? You guys are so weird. Let me see if I can get a picture of it. I don't understand why people want to know such weird things sometimes. Like, people are asking me questions like which country I'm a tax resident of, you know, like it's super weird, completely unrelated questions. I want to see if I can get a picture. This is going to motivate some people. Bear with me while I see if I can pull it up. It's not easy to find it. thing is, I never used to take many pictures of myself because I was so ashamed of myself, and that's why I take so much pride in this change now, because life is so different, and that to me is definitely the most valuable thing. Yeah. Cute story. Cute little story. Bear with, I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna pull it up. And actually, if you just go to my Instagram page, you can watch my story highlights, and you'll see it. They have shisha, my man. My treat. You let me know when you're free. That's really cool. Although it's gonna have to be my treat, cause you're a viewer, and I gotta thank you for that. Here we go. I got the picture. You guys are gonna laugh at this. When a girl asks my shoe size, she's hitting on me. How do I know this person was a girl? No way for me to know. Do I have the MRI subscription referral code? I don't have a referral code. Just if you could message Tone Vase, or maybe give me your email address and I can tell Tone Vase that I referred you. It's just good for him to know, because I do want to start working with him. Not necessarily for referrals, but here we go. You guys ready for this? You guys ready to see how I used to look? This was me. I don't know, like 4 years ago. Yeah. So that was a phase. That was a phase of life. How did I manage to do it? Eating less. Who would have thought? Yeah, I just cut out the crap, and I started eating 1 meal a day. Which is way easier than you think. And introduced a little bit more activity in my life. Although that wasn't necessary. Responsibility more important than blame. Love it. Yeah, there you go. It's absolutely essential. Never would have thought that. Yeah, it's pretty shocking. So thank you. So this was, you know, obviously making money was cool, but this was way better. And this was when I used to eat like a full Indian Pakistani diet. And those of you who know anything about Indian Pakistani food, you will know that it is literally the worst food you could eat. So in this picture, I think I was 15, something like that, 15, 14. I think I was 14 in that picture. And now I'm 19. So a slow metabolism, sure, yeah, maybe, probably. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna call it a night on that note. It's been a great stream, so thank you all for tuning in. It's now 3 AM, and like I said, I have meetings, so I need to wake up within 6 hours, and that sounds terrible to me because I like 8 hours of sleep. So we'll see how that goes. Thank you all for tuning in. There's your little boost of motivation to be healthy if it helps. I've done it. I've shown you how. I just eat 1 meal a day. It's a healthy meal. There's no crap. It's as simple as you thought it would be. Difference is I just did it. And if you find that useful, then go ahead and do it yourself. If you've enjoyed the live stream and you're new to the channel, or if you're new to the channel, please make sure to hit up the likes and subscribe. If you'd like to join our VIP group and watch me trade in real time and all that good stuff, then the steps to join are on screen. Click on the first link in the description down below, click on the @FORFLIES button, and then click on the send message to ask me how to join VIP, and I'll give you all the information about that. It's been a great live stream. Thank you all for tuning in. Thanks so much. You're very welcome. You're an inspiring person. Thank you. Thank you. Do I ever eat at buffets? No, I've banned myself from going to buffets for the most part. I'm not. I misbehave at buffets. Yeah, I don't do well with them. The issue is at buffets, it's so easy to eat way more than you're supposed to. You know, like that will happen by your second plate, that you will eat more than you're supposed to. And you might go for like 4. So the damage is real. It's normal to look different between 14 and 19. Of course, it's a big age jump. I mean, that's 5 years. So you would expect to look different. But the thing that makes this important and special to me is the fact that it's things like, you know, you look at the posture, you look at it's not about looking different. Like, obviously there's puberty, I'm becoming an adult, but this guy on the screen's a loser, you know. Like I you know, it's a weak, pathetic person, the way I see it looking back. Really not someone I'm proud that I used to be. And I don't feel the same now. So that's where it's important to me, you know. So obviously you will change when you grow up, especially during these years, but this change is a little bit more spectacular, you know, because it involves, you know, becoming a different person. So anyway, I'm gonna call it a night there. You guys have a great rest of your night and take it easy. All right, see you later. Bye.